Yeah, I mean, we've done a pretty decent job with them at their place and our place of creating some turnovers. You got to really disrupt them. Their offense, if you let it get in a rhythm, it could be an issue. So the disruption was terrific. I don't know how many deflections we got, but to turn guys over like a Marshall 7 times, and then like you said, I mean, doing those and then getting out on the break was huge. So I mean that is our game. That's what we're pretty good at.
And then Donnie talked about how he tried, and I imagine all of you guys kind of had an emphasis to get Nelly going a little bit today. I know he had 16 boards at San Diego State, but it wasn't a great offensive game for him.
That had a lot to do with them. It really did. I mean, you got to give them credit. San Diego. I said to the guys after when we got back, I said, "How many of you guys didn't play well?" And Nelly raised his hand. I said, they had a lot to do with that. We need to have a lot to do with a guy like Ethan Taylor, who's terrific, to go 3 for 14. We needed to do a better job on Boyd and Bird, and we didn't. We needed to do a better job on Dagenhart, and we didn't. So we did a much, much better job of, guarding their best players, and our guys found Nelly. So, it was a good bounce-back game for him.
And then I did talk about the points off turnovers and stuff like that, but you obviously weren't entirely happy with the defense at times, and Donnie talked about at halftime you're on pretty good. What was your overall assessment of the defense, and why wasn't it 100%?
Well, I mean, they make you go late into the clock, right? So we needed to fight through fatigue a little bit. I was frustrated with when I subbed, we let up a little bit defensively. So I thought it was more just stamina. I thought we got a little bit tired as possessions went on. But again, turning a team like that over 20 times is good. 3-point line is big for them, and giving up 8 is way too many.
Donovan touched on the fact that he felt like the guys, just as a whole, needed a win like this. How much do you kind of see it like that to just get their competitive spirit back, in March?
God, if we needed I don't know. I don't think we needed that win. I think we hadn't been home in a while. We lost to 2 really good teams on the road. I mean, we just tied a school record for league wins. I know it's obviously 20 games versus 18, but there was no panic with me. But it's nice, obviously, to feel good after a win.
Yeah, I think he was just talking more of like the...
No, I'm going to yell at Donnie when I see him for saying something stupid.
It seemed like you went with a somewhat smaller lineup at times with either Sacco or Jovan at the 5. Can you talk a little bit of the thought process?
Sacco had a great week. That's why I went with him over at Tiki. He was playing really, really hard. Then we went Jovan at the 5 because Nelly got in foul trouble and went Phillip at the 4. So it was more just, it wasn't anything that Tiki did. It was more what Sacco did all week.
And then Amzil, he's continuing to increase his role past the injury. Can you just talk about his performance tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I still don't think he's moving like he was moving. I was going to maybe sit him out as we built the lead, but the more I thought about it, I thought, maybe it's good to get him back in rhythm a little bit. I asked him during the game, so he's very, very important to what we do. Just it's a hard thing because you can't get a lot of rest right now. But we'll figure it out, see if we can get him ready for Tuesday night.
Is there something to be said for a couple of losses approaching March to kind of refocus a group that you think could be advantageous now that it's March?
No, I don't think they're not focused. I think we lost to 2 really good teams on the road, so I never ever want to lose. Not in this situation right now.
Donnie mentioned how important it is for him personally. Obviously, the team a couple wins away from the regular season title. Does that matter to you, or do you have to go, a big goal in your mind?
Yeah, winning the league matters to me. I think if we win Tuesday, we share it, which, yes, that absolutely matters to me. So, this time of year you've got NCAA tournament seeding, but, our number one goal is to win a regular season championship. If you do that, you're probably going to put yourself in a really good position for the NCAA tournament. So we don't really talk a whole lot about that, but hell yeah, I want to win a title. Absolutely.
And your magic number is 1 if you after today, no matter what. But first of all, I think he not playing. That was just a coach's decision. He wasn't hurt.
Yeah. Yeah, no, like I said before when you weren't listening, Will. No, I just thought Sacco had a really good week. Had to make Sacco hadn't been playing, so that was a coach's decision too. So he didn't do anything, just went with Sacco.
What was it like? Because I listened to your post game after San Diego State about you talked about the defense not being where it wanted. You wanted it to be the last couple games. Was that the driving force in practice the last couple games just to get that edge back?
Yeah, I mean, lot of it was our turnovers at San Diego State. Got to be careful this time of year to practice too long and too hard. I mean, we're in March now, right? So certainly a point of emphasis to disrupt better and make them earn more than we did, I think, at Boise and San Diego State. But again, there wasn't a whole lot of panic from me. Those are two really good teams that beat us on the road.
And I hate to watch the scoreboard, but like padded wins, big wins, blowout wins mean more in the metrics. Was that a thought process as the game's dragging out to keep maybe the starters out there longer than you wanted to?
Yeah, I hate it that way, but yeah.
At times this year, you guys have relied basically on Nelly and Donnie to go off for both of you guys. Can you talk about the balance of having 5 guys with 14 or more points for you?
Yeah, huge. I thought we had a lot of open threes that we missed. That I know our guys are better shooters than that. But yeah, balance is what we want. And I thought CJ was terrific. Off the bench, I always consider him a 6th starter. So yeah, it was nice. It was nice to see that. BA came off the bench, made some big threes as well.
Kind of took my question, but Coach, you were pretty happy with the 80% free throws, 53.1% from the field goals. You were 34 to 64. Happy with the balanced scoring kind of coming in?
Yeah, I mean, overall, when you shoot 53%, 55% in the second half, get to the foul line, all terrific. So, yeah, I'm happy with a lot. We're 15-3 and 23-6. So I'm going to enjoy this. Hopefully St. John's wins here, and then I'm going to move on.
Especially during a 2-game skid against 2 very tough teams, have you seen any development in Donnie's leadership throughout these 2 weeks?
No. But not that he's a bad leader. We stay pretty consistent. We lost 2 in a row. That's pretty good.
And finally, I'm noticing a lot of no-look passes from Donovan. Is that something that you tell him to not do, or is that something that just Donovan decides to do on his own?
It's hard in real time to tell him not to do it. He's a pretty electric passer. The one he threw to Q on a lob, I told him not to do that. But Donnie sees everything, so it doesn't bother me if he throws a no-look pass.
Coach, obviously, fresh off the game, now your next game on the road. Just what do you expect from your next opponent in Nevada?
I haven't watched much of them, so I'll dive in after this and see. But obviously, when we played him here, it was a very close game. Had to win at the buzzer. Coach Alford, the staff do a great job, so we know it won't be easy.
Yeah, we needed one of these pretty bad. Those 2 games we lost, yeah, they don't hurt us. They're not terrible losses for us, but we wanted to win both of them, of course, on the road. So to be able to come out here and get one of those, it always feels good.
28 points off 20 turnovers, 2 pretty insane numbers on the stat sheet. Was getting out and running and using the defense to do that kind of a priority again?
Yeah, we had to get back to playing defense. The 2 games we lost, we just weren't guarding the ball. We weren't talking to each other, and we were just shooting ourselves in the foot a lot on the defensive side. So today we were talking a lot, playing with high energy, and I think we did a great job.
And then Nelly, I know he did this last time against them as well, but he's coming off a game. I know he had 16 boards at San Diego State, but today the double-double by halftime. He had 3 blocks, 2 steals as well. Getting him back on track seemed to be kind of a priority for you guys too.
That was a big focus for me to get Nelly back rolling in the pick and roll and the post ups, just getting him to feel his touch again. So that was a big game for Nelly.
21-point win. You had 5 guys in double figures, and it's March. So how big is it that you guys are playing that well at this time of the year?
Oh, we needed it. Like they said, we had 2 back-to-back losses. We need to get a good win, get back to rhythm before we go into the conference tournament. 2 more wins or conference championships. We got to keep it going.
You guys did win by 20, but Coach looked very visibly frustrated, a little more than normal, especially in that first half. Where did he think the execution was lacking?
On defense, he said we weren't talking enough. At halftime, he ripped into us during the film. He just had a high energy for this game because he knew how important it was for us, and he was on one.
You just mentioned 2 more games left in the regular season. What would the Mountain West regular season championship mean to you and your team?
That was the goal from the start of the season. We talked about it. Yes, we want to win the conference tournament, but we wanted to win the regular season. We think it's way more important in our opinion, and we wanted to win it bad. So 2 more wins, we did our job.
Not to keep harping on the defense, but Coach did talk about it after the San Diego State game, about the need to regain focus and intensity. So I'm just curious, what were the last couple of days like in practice? Was that what the focus was?
Yeah, just being high energy on the defensive side, talking. It really starts with me and Nelly on the defensive side. If we're playing lazy, it's going to bring down the team, and we knew that, so we just came out with high energy.
Look, you guys are closing in on the conference championship. The losing streak probably had some people ready to start panicking. What's the mood like with the team?
Oh, the team's fine. We're staying together. We knew we were going to go through a bit of a struggle at some point in the season. Sucks it was a little this late, but we're just going to bounce back and figure it out.
Don, how do you feel about the team right now at this point? I mean, it's a crucial time, 2 games left, want to finish strong. I mean, what's the mood like in the locker room?
I think we just need to stay together. We got some people banged up in here and there, but we just got to stay together as a unit, like inside the locker room, not just with the coach, like inside the locker room. We got to stay connected to one another, and I think that's going to be the key to the rest of our season.
Obviously, the season's not over, but how would you describe the growth that you've seen from your point of view, not only in just yourself as a player, but just from the team standpoint from the beginning of the season?
It's been amazing. I mean, we just grown a lot on the defense side of it. We were always scoring in the early games, but like our defense side on the ball has just gotten so much better and better, and we just want to keep progressing in that.
Your name has obviously been in national headlines because of your play. How would you assess your performance this season in terms of what you expected from yourself and what it's been?
I mean, I expect the high expectations all the time for myself, so I mean, I don't really pay that much attention to media. Coach P gets on me about that. He says, don't let it get to your head. So, I mean, I think I've just been playing a good season. I just want to keep it going.
You had a chance to throw an alley-oop to Braden there, and then the pass kind of got away. It didn't really work, but what would it have meant to throw an alley-oop to this guy?
I mean, he got a 3 out of it, so it's all right with the lob. I thought he was going to go to the 3, saw him dive. It's all right. Don't want to look at him.
A huge alley-oop to him would have probably given him all kinds of help.
Oh, my God. He might have got a crazy budget. You're at radio.
Yeah.
Okay. It's all right. Just sit there and watch me.
Stoff is a guy that obviously was out injured for a while, hasn't really practiced much. I know you talked about an emphasis to get Nelly going, and curious how much you guys tried to kind of help Stoff get going a little bit too.
With Stoff, it was complicated. We want to get him going, but we don't want him to hurt his foot anymore and like rush it. So, I mean, to see him come out tonight, what do you have? 15? Like, just come out and play his game. It felt good to see him go again.
And what does him being back and being able to get minutes and get a 15-5 kind of game, what does that open up for the rest of the roster?
It changes the whole team, like the whole dynamic of the team. Like, that's another threat on the outside for threes. He's a great rebounder. And then it brings Jovan in a more comfortable role, I think, off the bench, and he plays well. So, I mean, Stoff being back is always great.
I got a question for you about the development of you as a player. You come here, pretty high recruit. There's expectations. You talked about you being a championship guy when you got here. But what's it take to go from being a high school guy to playing 35, 38, 40 minutes a game and being talked about as Conference Player of the Year, maybe an All-American, clearly a team leader?
I mean, it's always great. I mean, that's what he brought me here for. He knew from the beginning when he was recruiting me. He told me I was the point guard of his future. I had to lead the teams and all that. It's easier when you have the team that I have now. They just make the job way easier, in my opinion.